again, welcome. So, NTTF, this is the building in Bangalore, our headquarters or the corporate office we have. And of course, we have two offices, one in Bangalore, Pina, and one in Electronics Center. So, we are in skill development since 1959, close to 60 years now. And we run about over 40 programs. You know, what we have is a core program of diploma and post-diploma and things like that, but there are many, many other programs. We have inserted a complete prospectus in your folder, so you can take a look at leisure. And then we have a pan-India presence, 60 locations. When I say 60 locations, we have 50 locations, 15 locations of our own centers. Balances, we have many of the other programs that we do, you know, with industries. Like we work inside the industry, like Maruti, we run a lot of training programs. And then, of course, we have 800 plus strong trainers. That's a big number, 800 plus strong trainers in NTTF. NTTF trained, bred, and committed. That's where we are. And like I said, our core centers are all across the country, you see, except not much in the northern portion. So, starting from Bangalore, we have in Dharwad, in Karnataka, Belagaum. In Kerala, we have Tellicherry, Malappuram. In Andhra Pradesh, we have in Gannavaram. Tamil Nadu, we have Vellore, Coimbatore, Tuticorin, Kumbakonam. And of course, Jamshedpur, we have, and then we have one in Orissa, Gopalpur. And of course, we have one in Mumbai area, Mumbai. So you can see that the long-term core programs are what we have initially known for, and we have 50,000 plus students graduated and placed, right? Most of them working, and many of them are big entrepreneurs like you see in Pune. And of course, corporate training is our big forte. We deliver technical skills, functional skills, and behavioral skills. Then we have the Learn and Earn program, which is run under the NEEM, which is again, there's a detail in the prospectus you can see. And then of course, we do a lot of skill development, short-term programs, skill development, which is required, driven by the government as well. So these are the four big verticals we have. I'll only talk about our core program. So here you can see that we started, we started with diploma in tool and die making, but didn't stop there. When the electronics started, actually electronics should be number 2. We moved into electronics in 1980s, I would say, towards 1990s. And then we moved into mechatronics because electronics alone was not enough. We just combined both, and then we moved there. And then we brought in computer engineering because once the mechatronics was there, people had to work on the embedded technology. So the programming was taught. And then now the information technology, because they have to manage the entire show. And then of course manufacturing technology, some specialization in electrical electronics, the power electricals is required. So these are the broad spectrum of diplomas that we do. Of course we have many other post-diploma programs, and then also we have tied up with some institutions, engineering colleges or universities, I would say. One in Bangalore with Dayanand Sagar, another one in Vellore with Vellore Institute of Technology, where our students can do a concurrent program and also secure a degree by the time they finish the 3-year diploma. So these are all the programs, many of them. Sometimes I find it difficult to remember. Now, what's NTTF special about? You can see, first thing is, unlike other colleges, our guys start working from 8 in the morning till 5. Other colleges start at 9 and they wind up by like 2 or 3. But these young fellows work from 8 till 5. And that's the big thing. And when they start, usually they come from a very, very basic, raw children. And that's how they start. But that's the recognition that NTTF has done. We started with a Robin program where they were woken up at 6 o'clock in the morning to start yoga. So it's very difficult from comfort of home to this, but we push them through that. The first week on 10 days is that. And the thing is, during that time Sorry, I'm not able to handle this really well. You can see we start with this open program where the human relationship is taught because they come from an assorted background, Like when I was studying, I had a person from a rural place and one from Mumbai, my roommates. But by the time we finished that 10 days, we knew how to really gel well and focus on what we have to do. And then the attitudinal change and the value system is taught and mannerisms. And as you go along, the communication, team building, the presentation, you will see how they fly on the presentation. They can do better than me, right? And the goal setting and self-motivation. And we even start with 5 years right at the first week itself. So this is what we prepare them. And once they do that, they go into the curriculum. So the syllabus is like KV sir was saying, it is set by academic council and industry people. I mean, they govern it. We set it, they govern it. So recently we have been making changes. What we have done is we have taken the job profiles needed in the market and the QP set by NST of government, and then we have worked backwards to see what are the skills that should go in, and that's how we have written the syllabus right up to English. When they start learning English and maths and science. So we work backwards that way. So that's what we've been doing. And of course, we have expert facilities, faculty we bring in from the industry when we don't have required people inside. Continuous focus on the behavior. The biggest complaint these youngsters have is too much discipline in NTF, right? Yeah. Then we focus 60% of our time on practicals, is 30 to 40% on theory. So they are always hands-on. You can see the way they think and they do things in the display we have kept outside on the creativity Olympiad. And then a lot of project-based and discovery learning happens. And they also work late hours to get into the idea of working in shifts. And then we use all the latest technology. We use video conferencing, and we have started using smart boards now. And every student has got a tab. All the lesson is in the tab. And at the end of each class, they also have a tab test, so the teacher knows what he has taught. And then, there is, and of course, the quality circle we are talking about, 5S, safety at work, all these things are one by one, it is continuously put into them. So the end result is, when you see, they come out with that attitude and values, and they are mindful, skilled, competent, trusted, and really job ready. So that's what NTTF is kind of the butterfly effect, from a what do you call that? Cocoon to a beautiful colored butterfly. That's the transformation that happens in NTTF. I'll just run a small video which gives you a full idea of what's happening inside NTTF. Can you guys play that? And of course, proudly I can tell you, 95% placed. And that 5% is they decide not to get placed. They want to do their own thing, stuff like that. So this year our record is we are already at about 70% placed. 75% placed. Who are yet to graduate in June, but they are already placed. 75%.
See the name in your heart do not work with the name of peace. But when it is navigating in your watch, the value added to the state makes it more than 200 rupees of phone pay. The NTTF is doing a great service in this country. Number one, it trains people. Not only that, it trains people in sophisticated ways. It also provides the incentive for the man to go into areas where the value added is very much higher. And as a consequence, he gets a better remuneration for his work.
Skilled manpower is the backbone of industry and the foundation of a nation. Hiring an employable workforce is the challenge of most industries today. NTTF, with its quality and high standard of education, has been able to address this need and also provide corporate houses with training programs to reskill their existing employees. Apart from gaining skills, students who join NTTF grow in confidence to face the future. NTTF has played a significant role in the transformation of its students and the welfare of their families.
We are not students, we are trainees. Within these 3 years, they are giving us the training to how to behave in a company. If we are getting a job, how to do each and every job. They are making us capable to work in a company as a team, as an individual and everything.
No, as a student, he is totally in darkness. There is a talent in him. We open it.
When you are in SSLC or when you, before training started, we were just like a mud. NTTF has molded us. What I am today is just because of NTTF.
The passion in us, the focus, the endurance, the commitment, and the leadership. You feel bad to fail a commitment that was put in us. These are the 5 things that the NTTF puts you, and that's the edge, and which is not available in any institute.
So thereby he slowly realizes his responsibility, how he should behave himself in the public life and share both the problems and achievement. So it becomes mutual trust between the teacher, between the industry, between the students.
The faculty is very approachable in NTTF. I mean, they are very open to hearing out what issues we have even in the course itself. They take a lot of feedback, and that way I feel it is very good.
I am basically from a village background, and NTTF played a significant role in shaping up me as a person. We came out very confident. So some of the things I recall, 3D as I was saying, discipline, determination and dedication. This is what we learned from NTTF, and it has become a part of our personality and helped all along our career.
NTTF today has a pan-India presence with around 30 training centers, including corporate partner centers. It uses a proven methodology gained over 5 decades of its existence.
We have got a communication with the industry where we place our students, and we ask them as a questionnaire, what is that new you expect from them, both technical as well as from the attitudinal and soft skill part of it. So they tell us, says this software is outdated, you must have new software, and this machining process what you are doing not needed now, it should be CNC or automation of this nature. So such information we get it, naturally we assimilate it ourselves, and then it is created by us, and finally have got a vetting from the academic also. And this updating is going on every year.
The boys who came out of NTTF, they could be employed directly into the industry. There was no further training required.
It was a very good experience, placements here, because we were, even before the placement started, we were tuned to facing placements. We had a course as to how to approach different interviews, different companies, and how to prepare for a specific company, the kind of talent we should have.
The work ethic that we got from NTTF has been very useful in our work life. And we saw it right from the beginning from our very first job. And so my boss, as soon after we joined, my boss wanted us to recruit freshmen from passing out of NTTF after that. So at Measurements and Controls, we did go back to NTTF to recruit our juniors to come and join us and work with us. And the results were good.
எனக்குள்ள இந்த டேலண்ட் எல்லாம் எக்ஸிபிட் பண்றதுக்கு நல்ல ஒரு சான்ஸ் கிடைச்சது. ஸோ இப்போ நான் as a team leader ஒர்க் பண்றேன். என்னாலே நம்ப முடியல நான் டீம் லீடரா இருக்கேன். I'm able to control 45 members in my life.
We eventually started doing projects, and we went to tech fests at IIT, and we won there. That was in my second semester. So diploma students going to IIT and meeting a couple of IITs, that was a different experience for us.
You can find a lot of unemployed or wrongly employed engineering graduates who are doing a lot of other jobs like HR, insurance and things like that. Whereas you cannot find an NTTF graduate doing nothing other than what he has studied, because he is highly sought after. You get multiple choices when you are about to start your career.
NTTF offers various programs at the postgraduate degree, postgraduate diploma, post-diploma, diploma and certificate levels, apart from various non-formal or skill development programs. All programs offered by NTTF are employment-oriented and industry-focused. This way, NTTF has enhanced the technological skill base of the nation.
I don't think any one institution could possibly cope up with the demand of a country like India. NTTF has is that it gives a level of training that nobody else is giving. And therefore the demands for its training are great.
We used to work in a machine. It was very nice to work in a machine. And you can come to our different machines and different offices. At the end of the day, we have the cultural programs like dancing, singing. The training who has joined NTTF can show his original talent.
The main thing of NTTF is that secure your own future within your own hands. I am proud to be an NTTF.
NTTF contributing to the nation's growth since 1963.
Thank you. I hope you got an idea of what NTTF is doing now. So, staying ahead of times, we have to do that. So, we have started three new things. One is IT reskilling, and second thing is additive manufacturing, and third is lifelong learning. So, we want our staff and students to learn beyond what they are learning. So, that's why we have this lifelong learning. And if you see this is the IT reskilling, and also we have these courses embedded in our courses as well. For example, if you look at embedded C and IoT, we have 3D printing is already part of the syllabus for our students now, and we have the Cisco certification for cyber security, and we have the cloud machine learning. All this is part of our curriculum for regular diploma in computers and information technology, and also for IT reskilling. That is for college fresher, working professional who would like to come and take this extra class in the evenings or the weekends. We offer this now. So if you look at, we are not just doing from within us these courses. We have actually, for example, for networking, we are the Cisco Academy, NTTF Cisco Academy with Cisco. That's a big thing that we have got now. Probably one of the largest for Cisco themselves. And for cloud, we have tied up with the AWS. So as you finish training, you can also get AWS certification. And for automation, we have tied up with Siemens. For IoT, we are tied up with Intel. And for RPA, we are tied up with UiPath. So you can see all the top global corporations we have tied up with. So parallelly, people can get certifications. Our students have already started that. And of course, I'll talk about 3D printing. We have tied up with Stratasys. So as you know, the manufacturing changing fast from industrial revolution to now it is going to the next industrial revolution, which is IoT and Industry 4 and 3D printing. That's what it's headed towards. So how we are preparing ourselves? So we're wondering what next. As you know, NTTF is very good in subtractive manufacturing. That is, we teach the best of CNC and precision. And we are very good in formative manufacturing through tool and die making. We teach what is stamping and then what is molding. And then what next? Obviously it was additive manufacturing, that's what we were thinking. And then all this comes very, very naturally to NTTF, because NTTF was one place where we understand GD and T, can interpret and apply it. That's the specialty of NTTF. In all these three technology as it moves, that's one thing in common as you see it. So we tied up with the Stratasys, which is one of the leading manufacturers, designers of 3D printing technology. They are located in the US. So they have tied up with us. We have built up a center of excellence where they have placed their application engineer and business development engineer for 3 years who work with our team, and we develop this center of excellence. So the vision is provide solution to have the shortest mean time between releasing an idea to a product solution. And next is offer training in emerging manufacturing technology. This is the vision of this COE. So So keeping that in mind, we have started the Additive Manufacturing Center of Excellence. So what we have done is, in the center what you see is the Center of Excellence in the NTTF Electronics Center. And then we have, that is a hub, and then we have the spoke. So that is in all our centers. We have at least in 6 centers, we have already placed the 3D printing machine, so training has started. And again, I repeat, GD&T interpretation and application is what is coming in handy to us. We already have some very nice interest shown. We had a customer meet. We have very good interest from the customers. We are working on some projects with Maruti now, with Volvo. So already started. And of course, naturally, we would move to metal 3D printing as it matures. So what we offer here, training entity of students to be future ready. So all our diploma tool and die makers and mechatronics students will go through this course as a structured syllabus developed by Sri Status in NTF. Upskilling of industry engineers in additive manufacturing. So industry sponsors, like G would like to send 20 of their engineers and designers. And then consulting and design for additive manufacturing and solution services. This is the big need in the country now, we see, because they don't have a full-fledged centralized place. So right from bringing in the CAD to giving out a solution, or bringing in a product to reverse engineer and give it out. So that's something that we are working on. Not working, we already have it. And then of course, we are open to all the university students, engineers who would like to come and do internship in 3D technology, IoT or Industry 4. So we want to give all the services from this Center of Excellence. Just to give a snapshot, that's what we have. You can see that this machine at the bottom left-hand corner there, that machine is a FDM technology machine, which is one of the biggest available in the country, which can print a 900 mm size piece. And it can print ultimate material, the plastic ultimate, which is ultimate in terms of plastic quality. And this is a smaller machine, and we can see some examples. If you go outside, you can see I have displayed some parts. And this is the polyjet technology for show and tell samples depicting the real color we can print. You can see the car parts there, the tail lamps. You can really make the actual one. You can't differentiate the original or a molded part from a 3D. So that's the next part. And we have trainers, about 20 plus trainers were trained and certified by the Stratasys US people. So they all are certified. They have to score 70 marks to certify this. And we also offer the training to students with the same kind of certification. There's a long list of things, but I have put in the catalog of 3D printing, so it has got all the details. You can take a look and ask any questions if you may have during lunch break. Most important, again, interpretation of GD&T. That's to get the right fit form and function. This is also additional we'll be teaching to these people who come there. And of course, they will also get a Stratasys certification. So, in the end, with close to 60 years of technical training expertise, NTTF stays ahead, embracing needs of the industry in emerging skills, and continues to relentlessly train people, employable. That's what is the summary of what I wanted to say. So before I close, I want to thank you all and thank our guests for being here. And I would like to request and encourage you all to stay and encourage these young participants. Through the day they will have the competition, and in the evening we will have the closing ceremony. And to these participations, bright eyes, bushy tail, go and do your best. All the best to you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for detailing the final prints and the new initiatives by NTTF. So, sir, we are calling you once again to acknowledge the presence of Mr. Shroff here, who amongst this busy time is here to spend time with us. Thank you, sir.
Oh, nice of you, sir. Really privileged. Thank you very much.
So, we do not know how to call it curtains down or curtains up. One session got over, and now it's playtime. So we go with the presentation of team number 1. I hope you guys are all ready. Once again, I wish you the best.